Good afternoon. Hello and welcome to the second masterclass for the 5-day challenge. I appreciate this one is a little bit more difficult to get to as lots of people are working in the day, but I didn't have another evening this week to give to you. But hey, everything for the 5-day challenge is on catch up, and that is totally fine. So if you are here, please do say hello in the comments. I always like to know who I am talking to and who's talking to me. This is not just sitting and being able to listen. You are more than welcome to ask me any questions as we go along, because why not? That's why I'm here live. If not, you could just watch something. Hello, Caro. Nice to have you back here again. And looking forward to going through the business things now. If you're watching this on catch up, please just do put in the comments #replay, and then I know that some of you have seen it. Hello, Victor. Nice to have you with us too. So today we're going to be talking more about the business side of running a food photography business or a photography business in general. A lot of the points that I'm going to be coming up with are things that you probably know, but sometimes they get buried. And sometimes it's things that you just need a reminder of. It's not rocket science, but it's things that sometimes we need a gentle nudge. And this year I've seen that in person in action, because in February, I ran a business retreat in Northumberland for people in person. And then a couple of weeks ago, we went to Prague and we did a business retreat in Prague. So lots of the same recurring themes are coming up with how we're not helping our own businesses. And not because there's something wrong with us, but more because we're humans and we have lives and feelings, and we are up and down, and sometimes we're not very well, and sometimes we have to travel or look after the kids. There's so much that we're juggling in our lives that we just need to see, how are we going to fit this little old business in and make lots of money from it and retire with lots of money? So let me see who else we've got. Joanna, hello. Hi, Amanda. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to get into today's masterclass. Ask me questions as we go along. You will see that I'm presenting this in photos. This means I can see the comments, I can see you, I can be talking to you guys at the same time, rather than a big boring PowerPoint where I can't see anything else. So let's get that in there. Move me out of the way. That's a much better size to be able to see me at. And let's find the tab that I'm supposed to be in. Okay, just moving you guys along so that if you ask me any questions, I will see you. Just a little bit of screen rotating now, and then we are good to go. So hopefully today you are here to talk about your own business, of things that might be stopping you getting where you want to go, things that are holding you back in your business. And so we're going to look at 10 things that hopefully that you can identify that is going to help you stop sabotaging your own life, your own business. So first of all, if this is the first time you've met me, hello, I'm Emma. I'm a multi-award winning food photographer. I'm a mentor in food photography, styling and commercial marketing. I'm founder of the Food Photography Academy, based in the UK, but we have members all around the world. I am the author of the Savvy Food Photography Diary, and I run in-person food photography, styling and marketing retreats. And I can now very nicely say that that is not just in the UK. Now we have ventured into Europe, and we've got another one coming up in Bordeaux in September. So I'm getting a bit of travel within my work, which is lovely. Okay, so let's just dive into the first thing that might be sabotaging you in your business. You're wearing all the hats. You're the CEO, you're the CFO, you're the marketing director, you're the sales director, you're the chief tea maker, you're the cleaner, and you're just trying to do too much with the hours that you've got in your business. You've probably, as a creative, got lots of ideas and lots of opportunity that could take you off in so many different paths. And everything to you right now feels equally important. You don't want to miss out on any money, so you just keep adding things with that beautiful brain of yours that's saying, that's another idea, that's another idea, that's another idea. And then you get yourself so overwhelmed with all the ideas and all the things that you can do that actually you're not moving forward on anything. And us creatives are very good at coming up with the ideas, the exciting bit. But the monotony, oh, we're not very good at that bit. We like the ideas and the fun bit and the opportunities. So what can we do instead? We can pick one thing that we concentrate on for the month, just one thing. Say, this is it. This is what I'm going to hang my hat on in June. This is the thing that I am going to be talking about everywhere. You're going to add one offer in to actively push, and you're going to think of the audience of people that you want to buy what you are selling, or what it is that you're talking about. If you're not ready to sell right now, you're thinking about, who is it that I'm actually speaking to? And what is it that I am actually offering them? And rather than having all these different paths going off, you go, put your blinkers on, and you come up with just one thing for June. Hi, Tony. And also be clear on what your outcome is by the end of the month, so you're not disappointed. Is it at the end of the month that you want to have grown your audience on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn? Is it that you've got a private database that you want to be growing the numbers on? Is it that you want a client? Is it that you want money? And if you want money, how much money do you want by the end of June? You have to be specific, knowing what it is that the outcome is for you for this one thing that you're concentrating on for the 30 days. Or how do you know if it's worked or if it hasn't? So once you know what it is that you're working on, you then align all your marketing, reels, photos, pictures of you, pictures of food, whatever it is that you do, you align it so it all comes together with that one clear option. And just keep batting anything off that is not within that one thing that you're talking about for 1 month to one set of an audience. And the more you get clear on what it is that you do, more people will not be confused about what you're offering when you keep flitting around from different things. So, number 2, you delay decisions that don't need delaying. We're all pretty good at this, aren't we? We've got the things in our inbox or on our to-do list that we go, no, that's not happening. I'm not in the mood for it. I really don't want to do that. And we kind of put it off a little bit. Also, on top of that, there's some things that are really, really important, and you want to make the right choice with them. So you keep procrastinating and going, oh, I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm not going to do it. You keep your options open for too long, and then sometimes you feel relieved because they come back and say, oh, no, sorry, that's fully booked now. Oh, sorry, you can't do that. And you go, oh, well, never mind. I tried. Did you? Did you try? It's ways that make us all feel better, and we're all human beings, and that's how we don't want to hold it up and go, I didn't want to do it, so I put it off. We'd rather someone say, oh, sorry, no, it's fully booked now, you can't do it. Oh, damn it. Sometimes we treat small decisions like they're big ones, and we really have to prioritize with writing a list of everything that we've got to say, is it a small decision or is it a big decision? And sometimes we just wait for the universe to give us the answer. And the universe is saying, hold on a minute, you're going to have to work a little bit harder than that for it. So what can we do instead? We need to separate out those low risk decisions to the high risk. Write a list of every single thing that you've got to do. If you've got this really long to-do list, then right next to it, it's got to be done first, got to be done second, got to be done third. And then you can separate out your to-do list into the first to-do list, the second to-do list, the third to-do list, so that when you look at a to-do list tomorrow, you could have 10 things on your first to-do list and it doesn't feel as daunting for you. And you think, right, come on then, eat the frog. I'm going to do one of the things on that list. And normally what you can do here is say to yourself, I'm only going to achieve 3 things off this list. Obviously, if they are build a whole new website, add photos and do a portfolio, that's not possible. If there's 3 things like you've got to phone the dentist, you've got to pick up some dry cleaning, and you've got to write an email to your database, they're doable in a day if you've got the hours to do it. And it starts to calm us down and make us understand that actually we can do this, but we've just got too many things in our brain and we've got to park some of them on different lists psychologically so we can move forward in what it is that we want to do. So once you've done that, you should be able to make some decisions quicker because you've got shorter to-do lists. And when you've made that decision, act. Are you happy with it? Go, move, do a big cross through it, a tick, whatever it is. I love a big cross through something on my to-do list. It makes me feel like I've achieved it. Just don't go back and revisit it. If you're happy with your choice, don't overthink it and just make sure then you've got time for the big things, the money-making things in your business rather than overthinking the small things. On to number 3. You stay busy, but you don't move the business forward. On both of the retreats I've run this year, this is the key thing that everyone put their hand up to of this is the biggest problem in their business right now. And it might not seem like much of a problem, but what it does is it keeps you stuck somewhere without you moving on. So let's just have a look at what that looks like. You default to tasks that feel productive. Anyone else like their emails so that there isn't a scroll? That's on me. That's my favorite thing. When I get up in the morning, I just need to get rid of any emails. So anything left to do hasn't got a scroll in it. And I know when I'm busy because I've got a scroll on my email and I don't like it, but sometimes I have to go, you don't like it, but that is not making you money. Organizing my studio is not making me money. Shuffling around my papers and talking to the accountant is not actually making me any money. It might make me feel safer, but it's not actually making me any money in my business. And this is a big thing that we can highlight in there. You react to what's urgent. An email comes up and someone says, could you just re-edit this image for me? Could you just do this for me? And you go, yep, I want it out of my inbox so it doesn't scroll. I'm going to just jump on that now. That could be something that might not needed to have been done for a few days, and you've got much more important things like making money for your business. So a lot of the time we can get, it muddies the water where we confuse the fact that we're working really hard, but we're not actually making any money, but we're doing all the things that keep us safe in our business. And sometimes we have to go to the scary side and lean out of that. So what can we do instead? We can identify the activities that directly lead to income. If you have not got a note up in front of you and you work for yourself saying, what am I doing to earn money for my business today? You need to get yourself a sign. You need to get yourself a post-it note that just says earning money today, ? So that you don't fall into the traps of tidying up your admin, sorting out your inbox, making your website look prettier for the 53rd millionth time, upgrading your portfolio. A client doesn't really care if your portfolio is up to date or not. They just know if they like your photos or not, and they're not a massive expert. So we have to identify every day, are we doing something that actually leads to bringing income in to your business, or are we sitting there hoping that the universe will provide? Spoiler, it won't. So you need to think about doing this first before any other jobs. You also need to limit how much time you spend on low impact tasks of doing the things that are not making money, or flip that. Have a timer on the amount of time that you do the low impact tasks, but set yourself 90 minutes where your do not disturb goes on, where you can't be contacted. For 90 minutes, you work on your business and how it's going to make money and what it is that you're doing and the bigger picture of your business. You, as the CEO of your business, where are you driving the ship? And at least 90 minutes a week should be spent on this exercise of where are you going? How are you getting there? The CEO you needs to speak to the financial you and say, what are we earning this week and how are we going to do it? We're not earning. Oh, bums. Right. Okay. How are we going to earn then? So we need to start judging our weeks by the outcomes and not by the amount of hours that we're using up, being busy for busy's sake. On to number 4. You can be very inconsistent with your marketing. I can hold my hand up and say that. All of these are not pointed at you. They are pointed at us as human beings. Your marketing gets squeezed around client work, or you only show up when you've got a nice picture, or you're feeling happy that day, or you're feeling like the mood to post something, or you've been out for lunch and you've got something to talk about. So you stop when the results aren't immediate. Well, I've just posted for the last 3 days and I've not made a shed load of money, so I'm just going to stop. And unfortunately, we don't all get a sticker after sports day. You know, when I was young, I'm old, we had sports day. We did not get a sticker for just turning up and running the race. My kids got a sticker for just turning up. So we have this mentality that's been trained into us of you get a gold star, you get a sticker, you get something. I've shown up and I've done this and there's no results. So there's no point in doing this. It's all rubbish. My business is failing. And what is the point in all of this? And we can really talk ourselves through these things. And we also underestimate how often people need to see us. I think now it's up to about 34 touch points that people need to see you to start trusting you. When it was just delivering mail, it used to be 3 to 5 touch points where people started to trust you. Now, if we're looking at 34, we have got to get ourselves out there. We've got to have people going, crikey, she's everywhere. Yeah, exhausting, isn't it? And we've got to build up that trust. And I can see that when I bring lots of new people into my challenge. Those of you that haven't met me before, when I look at people signing up, some people put their first name as A or B or C or D. They don't put their whole name. They don't want me to know their name. They're having to give me their email address so I can send them all the tasks and talk to them about the challenge. That's enough for people. They don't trust me yet. So they're going to get their emails coming to them as, hi, E, how are you? And I can't do anything about that. And I can't say to them, hey, trust me, I'm a really nice person. Doesn't work like that. I have to earn that trust from people that have just joined my world. And you are exactly the same as that. If you are putting yourself out there and building this thing that is going to earn you money, you have to keep putting yourself out there repeatedly and not think, oh, I've been here so much, everyone's going to be sick of me. And if people are sick of you and they leave, they're not your kind of people. If people keep seeing you and showing up and they trust you more, it's a thumbs up. So what can we do instead to doing all of that with our marketing? We choose one main marketing channel to focus on. For me, my main marketing channel is LinkedIn. I write my posts for LinkedIn and then I copy it to Facebook and Instagram, which takes me an additional 5 minutes. I'm literally copying it over with the same photo or the same video, and that is all I'm doing. When I first started out and jumped from being a portrait photographer into a food photographer, I knew I was starting again with my business, even though I'd been a photographer for 15 years. So I had to ramp up what I was doing. And gave myself a non-negotiable that 5 times a week I would post on social media. And it didn't matter what happened. I stuck to that for 3 years to keep my social medias going and getting myself into a position where I changed from being a portrait photographer into a food photographer, to the point I eventually was able to drop the portrait side, because I'd done what I had intended to do, was use those channels to focus on them and have a simple rhythm that worked for me through the weeks. That's not rocket science, that's just consistency. I repeat the same message all the time on all my socials. Everything is the same. I'm not one person on LinkedIn and another person on Facebook and another person on Instagram. I'm the same person with the same message, delivering the same outcome for everyone on all three of them. And even if it goes quiet, even if you're talking to yourself, you have to keep going, because people can watch anything back. People can go back and stalk you on all your posts and see everything you're doing. You just have to keep going, because so many businesses fail in the first year because people go back and talk themselves out of it and say how rubbish it all is, and give up. So number 5, hello Cheryl, you're sorry, Sherelle, not Cheryl, wrong pronunciation there. 5, you're not clear in what you're selling. You might actually not even know what you're selling. Your business has evolved, but your message hasn't, or you don't know what your message is. You offer lots of different things, assuming that people will just pick out the thing that they want, which is really confusing for people. You're too close to your own work, so everything feels obvious, so you don't actually explain what it is that you do. When I go on a shoot, the amount of phones that come out with the staff taking pictures of me setting up and photographing the food, they're all snapping behind the scenes, because to them it's amazing. To me it's like, oh, I'm lugging my kit round, I'm setting up my kit, I'm taking a photo. For me, it's perfectly obvious, but for them, they're like, wow, look at everything she's got. It's really exciting for them. So we have to be super obvious. And you don't limit yourself by being absolutely specific. So let's have a look what we could do instead. Again, we need to be clear about the one core offer at the time, bringing us back to point 2 in terms of we concentrate on one thing for 1 month to one audience and talk about that continually to attract that audience. You might do the same thing for 3 months to 6 months, 9 months. It's entirely up to you. I didn't get my first client in food for 9 months, and then they started to come through from there. But if I'd given up before then, I wouldn't have had this amazing food photography journey that I have now. I just kept going. You need to say exactly who it's for and what it helps. My food photography 5-day challenge is for aspiring photographers and existing photographers that are looking to improve their food photography by taking killer photos and earning money from their actual imagery. So we all need to know what it is, like an elevator pitch. What is it that you do? Who is it that you help? And why should they come in? And the next thing is what you need to do now is. So again, that's another thing to put on a post-it. What you need to do now is, or this is what happens next. Click here, send me a DM, reply to this email. If we're not telling people what the next step is to do, it might feel a little bit bossy to you, but if we're not telling people the next step, how do they know what they're supposed to do? Confused people don't buy. We need to remove any confusion for them. Okay, number 6, you're not making clear offers. You're waiting for people to inquire instead of inviting them into your world. You're worried about sounding salesy. This is a big thing for a lot of people. Oh, I don't want to look like I'm asking for business, you're helping someone get what they want out of their business. It's purely transactional at this point. You may grow to have a great friendship with those people, but at this point, you have something on offer. You can photograph stunning visuals for them to use in their business so they get more bums on seats, they get more money in the till, they get a busy restaurant, and their business flourishes and they can put their prices up. So worrying about sounding salesy is more redefining what it is that you do for people and how you help them reach their dreams. You talk around what you do rather than naming it. Just say it. This is what I do. This is how much it costs, and I'm worth it. We need to look at what the problem is, how we are going to solve their problem, and what we can do with our skill set to transform everything for those people. And even though that sounds boring, we need to say that over and over and over again. Here's the problem. Here's the solution. This is how we transform it. You assume people will reach out. This comes up a lot in the Food Photography Academy. I'm posting 3 times a week. I'm posting 5 times a week, and nothing's happening. Well, no, because that's only one marketing pillar. If that's all you're using, that's really passive marketing. You are waiting on the algorithms of the sites from Meta, from LinkedIn, to show your content to the right people at the right time who are ready to buy. You have no control over it. It's totally passive marketing. But reaching out yourself and doing more targeted marketing is going to be what makes you a profitable photographer. So decide what you're actively selling this month. One offer, 1 month, one audience, so you know what you're doing. Name it, put a label on it, put a label on what's in the tin, say who it's for, problem, solution, transformation, and tell people where to go and how to buy it or to book. Book a call, click here, reply to this email, DM me, carrier pigeon something to me, but please ensure that you're asking people to do something when you're talking to them. Number 8. Oh, a biggie for photographers and creatives. It's really icky having to put a price on my skill, and my skill is being able to take beautiful photos. It's really icky. You price based on fear rather than facts. If I charge that much, people are going to think I'm really, really good, and I'm not that good. So I'm going to charge half that. You compare yourself to the cheapest option. The first thing people do is they do a SWOT analysis in their local area, and they look at what everyone is charging, and then they just undercut. You worry about losing the work, so you keep your prices low, and you negotiate against yourself before anyone asks. Someone gives you a price. How much is it for a shoot with me? Well, it's normally £1,000, but what I can do for you today is 750. But if you book in the next hour, I could do it for 500. And you're like, oh my God, stop typing, stop typing. Just let them answer, because £1,000 might have been exactly what they wanted to pay, and that's the budget that they had, especially if it's a business with a marketing budget. So what do we do instead on this one when we undervalue our work? We review our pricing against time, effort, and outcome. How much do you need to do? What's your cost to do business? How many outgoings have you got? What's going to keep you in business? Someone might be charging £200 for a shoot, but they're not going to be making any money, and they're not going to be staying in business very long. And also, they're going to look really cheap, so they're going to look like they're not very good. If you set your rates before the inquiry arrives, you know exactly what your rack rate is, and you know exactly what you're going to do. Stop discounting. When you give your prices, if you're on the phone, on Zoom, you have to bite your tongue and sit there when you give your prices and let them answer. If it's on the, if you're typing your prices out or giving a price list to a client, you need to type it, send it. Don't start discounting. Just take your hands off the keyboard. No, I'm not going to give any discounts. And you might need to start being a little bit picky. I knew my lowest point was when I accepted a passport photo from someone that wanted to come into the studio, and it was going to take me longer to clean up the studio than it was to get the passport photo. To the point I went, "Come on, what are you doing?" And said, "No, I'm very sorry. I don't do passport photos unless you're part of my family." And then they just line up for them around all the mess in the studio. Okay, number 8, we are steaming through. You're not tracking what's actually working. You're busy delivering, you're busy being busy, you're running around, putting all your effort into everything, but you're not actually reviewing what you're doing. You assume you'll just remember the things that worked and how you ran it next year, everything will be fine. You look at the effort that you put in and thought that was really hard work, so that's going to make me more money, and you just repeat things out of habit because it's just easy, because you did this last year, you're going to do it again, but you didn't actually make any money from it when you started reviewing it and looking at it. So what do we do instead? We need to track where our inquiries are coming from so we know where we're concentrating our times. And if people are already buying from you, why are they buying? Who are they buying? What is it that they want from you? And is it a consistent thing that they want from you, which shows you what your one offer is when you already track what it is that people have been asking for you. Review what's converted, review what hasn't worked so that you don't make the mistake of repeating that again. And just ensure that you are ruthless in getting rid of stuff that doesn't make you any money or costs you money. To say to yourself, I might have enjoyed it, it might have been great, it's not making me any money, it's got to go. You've got to make it, all of these decisions have got to be made from the spreadsheet, not from the heart. So you don't follow up or build relationships. Okay, you assume silence means no, you don't want to feel pushy. You move on if people aren't getting back to you, and you focus on new leads instead of warm ones. So all the time you're generating more and more business. So what can we do instead? We can follow up on outstanding inquiries and conversations, revisit warm leads that didn't convert, stay in touch with past clients and contacts, and treat these relationships as ongoing. But, let's not get stalkerish about this. If you're hammering on to the same 10 people that you're going, do you want to buy? Do you want to buy? Do you want to buy? And they're not getting back to you, and they're not really staying in touch, and none of them are buying, they're not really your hottest leads at the moment, and we've got to continually be bringing in more leads and more leads. If these people are going, yeah, I'm really interested, I can't do it this month, I'll do it next month, brilliant, no problem, I'll get back to you next month. We don't need to feel that we're in a failing relationship, working really hard to get people to buy from us. We've got to treat ourselves kindly and know that there are a lot of people out there that are our ideal clients, and recognizing when someone isn't one of our ideal clients. Number 10, you don't stop to review and adjust. You roll straight into the next month. You assume the effort's going to pay off. You don't take time to step back and be the CEO of your company, looking at where you're driving that ship. So you keep doing the same things in your business because that's your default. You work on your own. No one's telling you to work in a different way. So you have to review the month honestly. You have to put your figures down at the end of every month. Those in my Photography Academy are told on the first of the month, do your stats, do your stats, do your stats, do your stats. And that simply means that they have to write down all their followers on all their social media accounts, how many people they've got on their database, how many people are on their newsletter. Everywhere that they've got touch points of people building in their world, they're writing down and tracking it. It gives them an idea of where they're letting things slip, where things might not be working, or more importantly, where things are working well for them. and also where they're bringing money in from. When you look at where the money's coming in from and you see it's got a good profit, well, we're going to repeat that and we're going to do that again. So keeping what worked and changing what didn't is really, really important. If you're a one-man band and you're working for yourself and you've got 8 hours a day, five 5 days a week, without having to work weekends and evenings, it's not that much time to concentrate on your business, and you need to be concentrating on the things that are going to give you a profitable business, are going to grow your business, and by doing that you're growing your audience to make more money. So what we've covered today is the biggest sabotages I see with the people in my world, photographers at the moment, is trying to do too much at once, delaying decisions and procrastinating, being busy for busy's sake, being inconsistent with your marketing and doing it when you feel like it or you've got something to say, not being clear about what it is that you're offering, what it is you do, who you help, and what that is. Not being clear what the offer actually is. It is X amount for this shoot for this amount of time, which will give you X, Y, Z. Undervaluing your work and charging way too less for your talented photos. Not tracking what's actually working, so you know what you're going to continue to work on. Don't follow up. You don't follow up on building the relationships. You're looking for people to buy from you now, and you need to be thinking of the nurturing process of building up the relationship. And stopping, reviewing, doing your stats, putting the numbers down, letting those numbers guide you and show you what's happening in your business and where you need to be concentrating your efforts. So that is the masterclass for today. I would be really interested to know if any of those points have resonated with you, if there is something there that you feel is a point that you are guilty of at the moment, and things that it's highlighted to make you think about working a little bit different. I know my weakness is making sure that I can see all my emails in my inbox. I have to live with that. Sometimes it gets the better of me and I can't do it before anything else. Other times I have to park it and go and do the jobs that make me money. But we're all going to have them. We're all human. We're all creatives, and we have small businesses. These are all the very lonely things that happen when we're on our own, of not being able to see the wood for the trees, not being able to step back from our business and understand what we've got to do to move the ship forward. Or no one's admitting what they are going to concentrate on, or what they're guilty of. That was just me. I've just laid out mine. That was just me. Eat the frog, eat the frog, eat the frog. So while you're thinking if there is anything that you want to feed back to me on, I would just say to you for tomorrow, the group opens tomorrow afternoon. We will all be in the Facebook group together, and you can start chatting to each other. You can be chatting to me, my coaches, and then on Sunday evening at 7:30, I will be doing a welcome meeting where I'm just going to talk you through how things work for the challenge. It's not stressful, it's really easy, and I'm just going to talk you through all of that, and just to make sure that everyone's happy. I don't want anyone feeling nervous coming in. It's normally a really lovely vibe, and you go away so inspired after the week to want to shoot food and drink more and more and more. And my job is to make you fall in love with it and want to do it more. So that's what's happening. No comments from anyone. If there are no comments, I will leave you to it. But I would just like to say thank you for those of you that have turned up in person. It is so nice to have people here with me while I'm presenting, rather than just talking to myself. which happens quite a bit as well. I do seem to spend a lot of time talking to myself. Unless the comments are stuck, I can't see on there. No, it's not showing. If the comments are stuck, I do apologize. If they are not and no one's got anything to say, that is absolutely fine too. Right. Okay. Oh, no, they're not stuck. Sherelle has said thank you. Good. I was just starting to think that you'd all gone so quiet that that the comments have got stuck. Okay, brilliant. You are more than welcome. I'm so pleased it was working and the comments haven't got stuck. So thanks very much, everyone. I will see some of you at the welcome meeting Sunday night or in the group from tomorrow afternoon onwards when it opens. And I'm really looking forward to spending the week with you. Brilliant. Thanks very much, everyone. Thanks. Bye.